The prayer possesses transformative power, capable of reshaping lives. This prayer is portrayed as dangerous due to its potential to expose one's innermost self. The act of praying can be a process of self-revelation, uncovering hidden truths. The prayer's power lies in its ability to both transform and reveal. Praying without spiritual readiness can lead to adverse personal consequences. Lack of preparation in prayer may result in unintended negative outcomes. Spiritual vulnerability during prayer can expose individuals to unforeseen challenges. Unmindful prayer carries the risk of personal harm rather than spiritual benefit. Proper spiritual preparation is essential to ensure prayer yields positive blessings. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth. This divine blessing enriches without accompanying sorrow. True enrichment is characterized by joy and peace, not burdened by grief. The Lord's blessing is complete, providing both material and spiritual abundance. Unlike worldly riches, divine blessings do not bring negative consequences. The absence of sorrow is an integral part of the Lord's gift of prosperity. Many individuals prioritize praying for monetary gain over seeking blessings, which often leads to a sense of unfulfillment. The pursuit of material wealth alone may not provide lasting satisfaction or a sense of purpose. Blessings, unlike money, often encompass holistic well-being, including spiritual, emotional, and relational aspects. Focusing solely on financial prosperity can neglect other crucial dimensions of a fulfilling life. True fulfillment arises from a balanced pursuit of both material needs and spiritual blessings. A significant percentage of lottery winners, specifically 70%, experience financial ruin within a 5-year period. Sudden wealth without proper financial management often leads to unsustainable spending habits and poor investment decisions. The data suggests that unearned windfalls can be detrimental without a foundation of financial literacy and responsible planning. This phenomenon underscores the importance of financial education and disciplined money management, regardless of income source. The challenge poses a choice between material wealth and spiritual well-being. Praying for blessings emphasizes intrinsic values over monetary gain. Choosing blessings may lead to long-term fulfillment and inner peace. Cash, while providing immediate comfort, may not guarantee lasting happiness. The challenge prompts reflection on personal priorities and values. The decision reflects an individual's perspective on the true meaning of prosperity. Jabez prayed for God's blessing. He asked for enlargement of his territory. Jabez sought God's hand to be with him. He prayed for protection from evil. Jabez's prayer encompassed blessing, expansion, divine presence, and safety. Enlargement of responsibilities implies an increase in the scope of duties. Increased responsibility often leads to greater autonomy in decision-making. Enlargement can result in enhanced skill sets and professional growth. With enlargement comes the need for improved organizational and time management skills. Enlargement of responsibilities may necessitate delegation to ensure efficient task completion. The concept of God's hand symbolizes the act of relinquishing personal control. Surrendering control implies trusting in a higher power or a greater universal order. This act of surrender can lead to a sense of peace and acceptance. Letting go of control does not mean passivity, but rather aligning with a larger purpose. Ultimately, God's hand represents a shift from individual will to universal alignment. Avoiding evil involves the exposure of hidden sins. Exposure of hidden sins is a necessary step in avoiding evil. The exposure of hidden sins can lead to purification and avoidance of evil. Hidden sins perpetuate evil. Exposure halts its progression. The act of exposing hidden sins is an active measure against evil. Kingdom wealth involves trusting God, not showcasing possessions on social media. True wealth is measured by spiritual abundance and generosity, not by material possessions. Focusing on kingdom wealth prioritizes spiritual growth and service to others. Authentic faith manifests through humility and a commitment to God's purpose. The businessman's prayer led to a series of unexpected opportunities. These opportunities manifested as new business ventures, partnerships, and investment prospects. The influx of opportunities transformed the businessman's situation. This transformation highlights the potential outcomes of prayer and faith in business. A woman burdened by debt faces a challenge to forgive someone indebted to her. The act of forgiveness is presented as a potential pathway to resolving personal financial struggles. Forgiveness involves releasing the emotional weight associated with financial loss. The breakthrough occurs when the woman decides to let go of resentment and offer forgiveness. This act of forgiveness can lead to unexpected positive changes in the woman's financial situation. Debt forgiveness was a core component of ancient Israel's economic system. The practice of debt forgiveness played a significant role in the economic structure of ancient Israel. Ancient Israel's economy integrated debt forgiveness as a fundamental principle. Debt forgiveness was integral to the economic practices of ancient Israel. The economic framework of ancient Israel relied on the concept of debt forgiveness. Ancient Israel's economic system considered debt forgiveness to be a vital element. In ancient Israel, debts were systematically forgiven every 7 years. This debt forgiveness occurred as part of a broader system of wealth management. The 7-year cycle provided economic relief and prevented long-term financial burdens. This practice aimed to promote economic equality and social stability. The debt remission was a recurring event designed to reset financial imbalances. This biblical principle provided a mechanism for economic renewal and opportunity. Forgiveness involves releasing resentment and the desire for retribution towards someone who has wronged you. Financial debt represents an obligation to repay a sum of money to a creditor. The concept of God opening bigger doors suggests new opportunities and blessings as a result of a specific action. The decision to forgive a debt can be framed as a choice between financial recovery and potential spiritual or personal growth. Blessing encompasses not only material wealth, but also divine favor. Deuteronomy 28 outlines the multifaceted blessings of obedience. Divine favor manifests in diverse forms, enriching life beyond monetary gain. True blessing integrates spiritual, emotional, and material well-being. Territorial expansion involves identifying and capitalizing on opportunities to increase influence. Strategic alliances and partnerships are crucial for expanding territorial reach and influence. Market analysis identifies potential areas for expansion and increased market share. Leveraging resources and capabilities effectively enhances the ability to expand and dominate new territories. Building a strong brand and reputation is essential for establishing influence and attracting opportunities. The concept of "let your hand be with me" suggests a divine partnership. This partnership implies guidance and support from a higher power. It represents a collaborative effort between the individual and the divine. This divine partnership fosters strength and resilience in the individual. It encourages trust and faith in the divine's presence and assistance. The phrase embodies a request for divine intervention and co-creation. Protection involves safeguarding against self-sabotage, which undermines personal goals. Self-sabotage manifests through negative thought patterns and destructive behaviors. Overcoming self-sabotage requires identifying triggers and implementing coping mechanisms. Protection also extends to guarding against external enemies and their harmful influences. External enemies may employ manipulation, deception, or direct aggression to achieve their aims. Effective protection involves vigilance, discernment, and strategic defense against all forms of harm. Territorial enlargement involves expanding one's sphere of influence and capabilities. Networking is a key strategy for enlarging one's territory by establishing connections and collaborations. Acquiring new skills is essential for expanding capabilities and opening new opportunities. Courage is required to launch a business and venture into new territories. Enlarging territory through networking, skills, and courage leads to overall personal and professional growth. Effective financial management is crucial regardless of the amount of capital involved. Inadequate handling of even small sums indicates a lack of fundamental financial skills. Without basic financial literacy, increased capital can lead to overwhelming challenges and potential failure. The ability to manage smaller amounts effectively is a prerequisite for handling larger financial responsibilities. Prioritizing money over spiritual values can reveal a misplaced devotion. Prayer can serve as a means to identify and confront the undue influence of materialism. Spiritual examination through prayer highlights the true object of one's affection. Acknowledging a love for money above all else is the first step towards spiritual realignment. Blessings cannot be genuinely obtained without obedience. Seeking blessings without obedience leads to detrimental consequences. Obedience is a foundational requirement for receiving blessings. Disregarding obedience undermines the potential for positive outcomes. True blessings are contingent upon adherence to prescribed guidelines. The absence of obedience corrupts the integrity of blessings. The act of prayer is a profound communication with the divine. Prayer can be a universal practice, accessible to all regardless of their readiness for potential challenges. The cost of prayer may refer to the commitment, sacrifice, or transformation it can inspire. Personal readiness for prayer involves understanding and accepting its potential impact on one's life. The decision to engage in deep prayer should be a conscious and informed choice. Prayer can be a source of strength and guidance, irrespective of one's perceived worthiness. Storing grain is analogous to savings. Grain storage ensures future availability, similar to how savings provide financial security. Grain, when stored, can be used for future investment. Savings and investments, like grain storage, are crucial for long-term stability and growth. Jubilee represents the concept of debt forgiveness. Jubilee also signifies a reset of wealth distribution. Debt forgiveness under Jubilee aims to alleviate financial burdens. Wealth reset under Jubilee seeks to promote economic equality. Jubilee is a mechanism for economic restructuring. Tithing can be viewed as a form of spiritual insurance. This perspective suggests that tithing provides a safeguard against spiritual or material hardship. The concept implies a proactive approach to faith, where regular contributions offer a form of spiritual security. It frames financial contributions as an investment in one's spiritual well-being. This view emphasizes the potential benefits and protection associated with consistent tithing practices. The spiritual insurance analogy highlights the perceived safety net created through regular financial offerings. In ancient Israel, wealth was primarily measured by tangible assets rather than currency. Cattle were a significant indicator of wealth, representing both food supply and trade value. Land ownership signified prosperity and social status in ancient Israelite society. The number of servants a household possessed also reflected its economic standing and ability to manage resources. Unlike modern economies, cash was not the primary medium of exchange or store of value. The ancient Israelite economy relied on agriculture, livestock, and human labor as the foundation of wealth. Wealth ownership fundamentally refers to the assets and resources one possesses, representing economic control and potential future benefits. If all monetary wealth vanished, true ownership would still encompass tangible assets such as property, precious metals, and intellectual property. Intellectual property, including patents and copyrights, constitutes a form of wealth that persists independently of financial markets. Ownership provides inherent value and security, even in scenarios where traditional financial systems are disrupted or cease to exist. A 7-day challenge involves daily prayer. The prayer of Jabez is the focus of this challenge. The challenge requires consistent, daily repetition of the prayer. The prayer is described as dangerous. The challenge spans 7 days to establish a habit. The prayer of Jabez is to be recited each day for 7 days. Prayer should involve sincere intention, not mere recitation. Meaningful prayer requires genuine engagement of the heart and mind. Sincerity in prayer involves connecting with the essence of the words spoken. True prayer is a heartfelt communication, not a hollow performance. The value of prayer lies in the depth of feeling and conviction behind it. Authentic prayer fosters a personal and transformative connection with the divine. Journaling involves documenting experiences during a 7-day prayer challenge. The journal serves as a record of daily prayers, reflections, and insights. Documenting experiences can enhance self-awareness and spiritual growth. Regular journaling provides a structured approach to tracking progress and identifying patterns. The act of journaling facilitates a deeper connection with one's spiritual practices. Life shifts can manifest as feelings of discomfort or unease. These shifts often signal a need for change or adjustment. Ignoring these signals may lead to increased stress or dissatisfaction. Acknowledging and addressing these shifts can promote personal growth. Proactive adaptation to life's shifts fosters resilience and well-being. Obedience involves acting when opportunities are divinely provided. Divine opportunities are often presented as open doors. Acting on these opportunities aligns with a higher purpose. Faithful action is required to pass through divinely opened doors. Community testimonies involve sharing individual results and experiences within a group. Sharing results fosters a collaborative environment for analysis and improvement. Testimonies provide diverse perspectives and insights that may not be apparent individually. Community feedback can help validate findings and identify potential biases or errors. Publicly available testimonies contribute to a collective knowledge base for future reference. Prayers should be offered with sincerity rather than with avarice. Greed taints the purity and intent of prayer. Seeking blessings with selfish desires undermines the spiritual value of prayer. True blessings arise from selfless devotion, not from material cravings. Blessings are bestowed for stewardship, not for selfish accumulation. Stewardship involves managing resources responsibly and ethically. Selfishness leads to hoarding and misuse of resources, hindering overall prosperity. Effective stewardship promotes sustainable growth and benefits the community. The purpose of blessings is to enable responsible resource management for the common good. Solomon's prayer prioritized wisdom over material wealth. Divine response granted Solomon both wisdom and wealth. The narrative illustrates the potential for blessings beyond initial requests. This example emphasizes the value of prioritizing intellectual and spiritual growth. The story serves as a parable about the multifaceted nature of divine favor. Greed, when unchecked, can lead to the downfall of even the most powerful individuals. The pursuit of excessive wealth and power can corrupt wisdom and integrity. Uncontrolled desire can erode the foundations of a prosperous and righteous reign. The consequences of greed often include loss, destruction, and ultimate ruin. Prayer is a covenant, establishing a sacred agreement between the individual and God. The essence of prayer lies in its role as a binding agreement, not a mere recitation of words. Prayer functions as a promise, fostering a deep, spiritual connection with the divine. Prayer is not a magical incantation, but a sincere commitment to uphold divine principles. The efficacy of prayer stems from its covenantal nature, demanding sincerity and devotion. Prayer is a form of communication with a higher power, often involving requests, thanks, or adoration. Engaging in prayer can lead to personal transformation and a shift in perspective. Consistent prayer practices can foster a sense of inner peace and resilience. The act of praying can provide comfort and guidance during challenging times. Clicking the like button signals appreciation for the content. Subscribing ensures consistent access to future content releases. Liking and subscribing increases content visibility to a broader audience. Engagement through likes and subscriptions supports content creator sustainability. Achieving financial freedom requires sharing knowledge and opportunities with others. Disseminating financial strategies empowers individuals to pursue economic independence. Offering financial guidance can alleviate economic hardship and foster collective prosperity. Sharing financial insights creates a supportive community dedicated to mutual growth and success. The question prompts reflection on whether one is willing to seek significant blessings and expansion in their life. Praying the prayer of Jabez may be perceived as a bold step, potentially leading to unexpected or challenging outcomes. Hesitation to pray the prayer of Jabez might stem from fear of the responsibilities or changes that answered prayers may entail. The query invites introspection on one's comfort level with actively seeking divine intervention for personal growth and influence. Blessing encompasses favor and divine grace. Blessings extend beyond mere material possessions. Divine grace is a key component of a blessing. Favor, as part of a blessing, implies preferential treatment or support. Blessings represent a holistic sense of well-being and divine support. Territory includes opportunities for growth and expansion. Territory provides influence within a specific domain or market. Territory encompasses an expanded reach to new customers or markets. Effective territory management maximizes resource utilization and market penetration. Strategic territory definition is essential for business development and competitive advantage. God's hand symbolizes a divine partnership. This partnership necessitates trust as a foundational element. Obedience is a crucial component of this divine agreement. Trust and obedience together define the essence of the divine partnership. The divine partnership implies a reciprocal relationship. This relationship requires active participation and commitment from both parties. Protection from evil encompasses safeguarding against self-sabotage. Self-sabotage involves destructive habits that undermine one's well-being. These habits can manifest as procrastination, negative self-talk, or avoidance of opportunities. Recognizing and addressing self-sabotaging behaviors is crucial for personal growth. Overcoming self-sabotage leads to enhanced resilience and a greater capacity for positive outcomes. Networking is a modern application of enlarging one's territory. Effective networking expands influence and reach in professional and social spheres. Strategic networking involves building relationships to create opportunities and mutual benefits. Modern networking leverages digital platforms to connect with a wider audience. Networking facilitates the exchange of knowledge, resources, and support among professionals. Successful networking requires proactive engagement and consistent relationship management. Acquiring new skills expands one's capabilities. Skill acquisition can be visualized as expanding one's territory. New skills represent an increase in personal competence and mastery. Skill development empowers individuals to navigate new challenges and opportunities. The process of learning new skills enhances adaptability and resilience. Courage is essential for entrepreneurs to venture into uncharted business territories. Launching a business requires a willingness to embrace uncertainty and potential risks. Stepping into new territories involves facing unknown challenges and overcoming obstacles. The courage to start a business reflects a proactive approach to innovation and growth. Entrepreneurial courage often involves disrupting established norms and creating new market opportunities. Businesses launched with courage are more likely to adapt and thrive in competitive environments. Effective management of small financial amounts builds a foundation for handling larger responsibilities. Financial prudence involves careful planning and disciplined execution, irrespective of the amount. Practicing financial responsibility with smaller sums cultivates essential habits applicable to larger-scale finances. Mastering basic financial principles with limited resources enhances one's ability to make informed decisions with greater assets. Consistent and cautious handling of small finances translates into improved financial stability and preparedness for future challenges. Prayer can reveal if one's love for money outweighs their love for God. The act of prayer serves as a test of spiritual priorities. Greed can be exposed through introspection during prayer. Spiritual devotion and material desires are often in conflict. Prayer provides a means to assess inner values and motivations. Blessings are contingent upon adherence to specific guidelines or commands. Obedience is a prerequisite for receiving blessings. Disobedience can lead to negative consequences or destruction. Ruin is a potential outcome of failing to comply with established rules. The principle highlights a causal relationship between behavior and outcome. Storing grain represents the concept of savings for future use. Savings provide a buffer against future uncertainties and needs. Investments are a means of growing savings over time. Savings and investments contribute to long-term financial security. The Jubilee year represents debt forgiveness, offering a fresh economic start. Debt relief during the Jubilee year facilitates wealth redistribution within a community. The concept of Jubilee promotes economic equality by canceling outstanding debts. Jubilee debt relief aims to alleviate financial burdens and stimulate economic activity. Debt forgiveness during the Jubilee year provides opportunities for economic growth and stability. The Jubilee year symbolizes a reset button for individuals and communities burdened by debt. Tithing is presented as a spiritual insurance policy. This policy ensures divine provision. Tithing also ensures divine protection. The act of tithing is seen as a means of securing spiritual benefits. Tithing is believed to provide a safeguard against adversity. The spiritual insurance provided by tithing is considered invaluable. True ownership extends beyond material possessions. The essence of ownership lies in intangible aspects such as knowledge, skills, and experiences. Internal values and personal growth constitute a form of ownership that cannot be taken away. True ownership is defined by what remains when all physical belongings are lost. Prayer should be approached with genuine intention and belief. Empty recitation lacks the sincerity required for meaningful prayer. True prayer involves heartfelt conviction and focused thought. The essence of prayer lies in the depth of one's belief and the purity of intention. Prayer with genuine intention fosters a deeper connection with the divine. Life transformations often involve facing uncomfortable shifts and challenges. These shifts are integral to the process of reshaping one's life. Embracing these challenges can lead to significant personal growth and development. Reshaping often requires adapting to new circumstances and perspectives. God's guidance can provide strength and direction during these transformative periods. Trusting in a higher power can ease the discomfort associated with life's changes. Trust in divine guidance involves faith in a higher power's direction. Obedience means following the path revealed, even when it is unclear. God opening doors symbolizes opportunities and new directions in life. Unexpected directions may lead to growth and fulfillment beyond current understanding. Community support involves sharing personal experiences to foster mutual understanding. Providing support to others within a community creates a positive and collaborative environment. Active participation in community support networks enhances individual well-being and resilience. Sharing experiences builds empathy and strengthens community bonds. Effective community support systems rely on mutual assistance and shared resources. Blessings are provisions intended for stewardship and the benefit of others. Stewardship involves managing resources responsibly to create value for a larger group. Selfish accumulation prioritizes personal gain over collective well-being. Stewardship fosters growth and shared prosperity through equitable distribution. The ethical framework emphasizes using blessings to uplift communities rather than for personal enrichment. Prioritizing wisdom over wealth emphasizes the importance of knowledge and understanding. Seeking wisdom involves a commitment to learning and personal growth. Wealth, while valuable, should not be the primary focus in life. Trusting in divine provision alleviates anxiety about material needs. Focusing on wisdom leads to a more fulfilling and meaningful existence. Divine provision ensures that essential needs are met when wisdom is prioritized. Prayer is understood as a covenant with God. This covenant requires commitment from the individual. Faithfulness is an essential element of this covenant. The prayer covenant implies a reciprocal relationship. Commitment and faithfulness strengthen the bond of the prayer covenant. Through prayer, individuals enter into a binding agreement with the divine. Praying this prayer initiates a process of profound personal transformation. The act of prayer serves as a catalyst for inner change and growth. Transformation involves a shift in perspective and a renewal of the inner self. Consistent prayer practice cultivates lasting and meaningful personal evolution. This prayer is a tool for unlocking potential and achieving a higher state of being. The prayer of Jabez is a request for God's blessing, expansion, and protection. Praying the prayer of Jabez involves trusting in God's plan for one's life. The prayer seeks to enlarge one's territory, both literally and metaphorically. Protection from evil is a central theme within the prayer of Jabez. The prayer of Jabez is an invitation to actively seek God's intervention and guidance. Complacency can prevent the realization of potential blessings. Unwillingness to pray can hinder spiritual growth. Fear can be a significant obstacle to personal development. Overcoming fear and engaging in prayer can lead to increased blessings. Spiritual and personal growth are often linked to proactive engagement in faith. Praying for favor involves seeking God's grace. Divine favor is sought in all areas of life. Seeking God's approval is central to praying for favor. Prayer is a means of requesting divine assistance. Grace represents unmerited divine assistance. Divine favor implies a positive outcome or blessing. Increased responsibility is a direct result of expanded scope. Accountability is essential when managing larger territories. Wise management is crucial for maintaining control and efficiency. Accountability ensures resources are used effectively and ethically. Effective management fosters trust and transparency within the organization. The combination of responsibility and accountability leads to sustainable growth. Surrendering control involves trusting in divine guidance. Trusting God means accepting His timing in all matters. Divine guidance provides direction and purpose in life. Faith requires relinquishing personal plans for a higher purpose. Acceptance of God's will brings inner peace and fulfillment. Surrender is not passive. It is an active choice to align with divine will. Integrity is defined as the consistent adherence to moral and ethical principles. Maintaining integrity involves actively avoiding actions that are morally wrong or harmful. Resisting temptation is crucial for preserving integrity and upholding ethical standards. Ethical decision-making is a key component of maintaining personal and professional integrity. Compromising integrity can lead to a loss of trust and damage to one's reputation. Forgiving debt embodies the principle of generosity. Debt forgiveness aligns with wealth management principles found in religious texts. Generosity in financial matters promotes ethical and moral values. Debt forgiveness can be viewed as an act of compassion and social responsibility. Praying for blessings necessitates faith in a higher power's capacity to provide. Faith is required to believe in the potential for divine intervention and positive life changes. Belief in a divine power's ability to transform one's life is essential for receiving blessings. The act of prayer is an expression of trust in a divine entity's power and willingness to assist. Divine blessings are contingent upon the individual's unwavering faith and trust.